Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Marked in Time. I'm your host, Mark Franken, and wow, it has been a long time since I've done one of these videos. I want to thank everybody for their patience. As you can tell, I got some hard shadows going on here, and the lighting's terrible, and yeah, camera's not working well for me. I'm actually filming this off of my phone using my wife's selfie camera. It's an absolute complete disaster, but one of my subscribers reached out to me earlier today and said, "Hey, what happened to you?" Kind of a message. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. I'm trying to get something a little bit better set up here. The touchscreen on the video camera died on me, so I don't know. It's a long story, but with everything else happening, I've fallen way behind in doing videos. But funny story, about 3 weeks ago, the subscriber that lives down the street from me, Fred, showed up and he said, "You're not going to believe this. I was looking for a bag of watches for you, and I gave up." And he said, "I was walking around and I was looking through other parts of Value Village and I came across a jar." And he said, "Mark, you're not going to believe this. It's a jar full of watches." So I'm like, you got to be kidding." And he said, "No, you know what? You can't make this stuff up." And so here we have, I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way here, a jar of watches. I cannot believe this. And it was absolutely, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. He's got me a jar of watches. And like I said, this was about 3, 4 weeks ago. Absolutely love the guy. His name's Fred. He's like I said, he's my neighbor down the street. Absolutely hilarious. And yeah, so this is what he got me. So this is what we're going to be exploring tonight. A jar. Like, this is a glass jar full of watches. This is crazy. But anyways, I'm going to move this out of the way to try to keep as much focus as possible. This is episode 12 for anyone who's counting. I've kind of lost count, but I do believe it's around episode 12. But let's get started on this and see what we have. So we have this thing all packing taped in. Ugh. Oh, this is gross. Oh, cheapers. This is terrible. There we go. I usually wear gloves when I do this, but I'm going to be chancing it tonight. Hopefully it's not too dirty, and I'm going to have some Perel later on, Perel my hands. But let's see what we got here. I'm going to move this out of the way. So, oddly enough, this is working too. WR 100 feet. WR, I doubt that's a Casio. AccuTime Watch Corp. That's actually a name I've heard before, actually. AccuTime Watch Corp. I think this is supposed to look like some kind of a data watch, but I think this is just a straight up digital watch. Jeepers, it all kind of works too. WR, the Casio, their different watches have like WR on that, and that has a WR on it. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. I can't go too close to the lens, or else it gets blurry. But I will get my camera working, guys. I just really want to get a video because I haven't done one in a while, so I'm just using my phone again for tonight. But yeah, WR, I don't know. It's Accutron I've heard of before. But there we go, there's that one. And then we have, wow, that is insane. Look at this. Believe it or not, all the little gemstones are on there as well. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I can't even. What would you wear with this? Like, I guess some people's personality would match a watch like this, but that is insane. I say this quite often, but when I was running the flea market, these type of things, they move. I know you guys are probably going, "Man, that is like terrible," but believe it or not, these actually move. Like, I sell these things too, eh? So I'm going to keep that for, I don't know what I'm going to keep it for. Market, I guess. Oh, what do we got here? This is kind of neat. It's like a bracelet style type thing with, can't even see the name on that. Is that a winger? Keepers. Winger. That's actually, I don't think it would be the same company. I don't think that's the same Wenger. There's a company a long time ago. They used to bring in foreign watches. They were a North American distributor off of watches from foreign countries. This is going way back, and that company's name was Wenger, Wenger. But I doubt that this would be the same company. Stainless steel. It's pretty beaten up, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would keep that. We got a. Is that Ardene's? Ardene. Ardene. I don't know if you have them in the States, but in Canada we have in women's fashion stores called Ardene. My daughter, who's about 19, she shops there. Which is always funny because they have these massive sales. And my daughter swears one day she's going to walk out there and they're going to pay her to take the clothes with her. That's how many sales they usually have. Like they'll have a sale on top of a sale. But that is actually the company logo, Ardene. I didn't realize that they actually would have a watch. I didn't think they made watches that with their own company logo on it. Man, that is a pretty... Unfortunately, it's a cheap plated thing because that'd actually be pretty cool if you were to get it buffed up. I'm sure somebody would buy something like this. I'm gonna see what I can do with that. Again, I always keep thinking about what the flea market would get, like what I would be able to sell at the flea market. And I've done it long enough to know that certain things, oddly enough, catch people's attention. This is just a piece of crap. That is all I can say about that. That is rough and cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if that dial is paper, like some kind of a paper dial on it. Although the crystal, it's funny that even something this, I gotta even know what the word I would use for that. Even something this cheap, I could still save the crystal off of that. Like that crystal is actually really nice. It has a bit of a magnifier to it. That's a really nice crystal on it, but that's about as far as I would go for parts. Ouch. And then we have, what do we got here? Ah, that's kind of nice. Oh my God, that's a caravel. That's working too. That's let me get a cloth here. I'm gonna give it a bit of a. That's a Boulevard, guys. That's a Boulevard. Boulevard by Caravel. Or sorry, Caravel by Boulevard. But that's a Boulevard. Yeah, look at that. You see it right there, Boulevard. It's in rough shape. It's going to need a lot of polishing, but that is a Boulevard. The crystal is hacked to hell on it. This is when I'd like to say that this watch has been thoroughly loved because somebody wore this thing to death. Although the band is really nice considering. That's kind of a bit of a mystery. So the watch crystal is absolutely scratched to oblivion, but it looks like it was cared for. Like this band is beautiful. I really like that. I like that. It's funny, when I was younger, I never liked square watches. It's kind of weird, but I find as I get older, like I'm 54 now, and my eyes get really drawn to square watches. Again, one of my favorite watches found in a bag of watches, and I've told you this story in a previous video, is that small little square Bulova. But that is a nice watch. I'm really curious if I can get another crystal for it. There's a product that you can get. It's made by Polywatch, and it's a two-stage product for mineral crystals and glass to polish out out the scratches. I'm just not sure how that works, but I might actually go out and buy that product and see if I can buff this glass up a little bit, because the watch itself is in really good shape. Nice thin too. Look how thin that is. That is a nice watch. I like that. See, my weight's going to kill me. There's going to be another one added to my collection. Anyways, that's definitely a keeper. I want to put that off to the side. Get rid of the cloth. And here we go. We have a Casio. That is a Casio. All plastic, of course. It even has the stainless steel back to it, but that is a Casio. Man, I don't know. Is that like a NATO strap? Oh, no, the strap broke on it. That's how that... I can get a cheap NATO strap for it. Wow, that thing looks more like a toy than anything. It always amazes me how Casio can build these beautiful watches, and then they turn around and they build something plasticky like this. I have no idea. Oh, put that off to the side. And then we have a Guess watch. If this is a newer Guess watch, that would be solid stainless steel. But I doubt it. I don't think... Oh, the bracelet is stainless steel, I can tell. You can always tell a stainless steel bracelet if when you look underneath it. I guess the chemicals from like sweat and everything else, it really etches away on the plating if it's not real stainless steel, and you get this etching, bubbling, and that's my first telltale sign that something is plated and not real steel. But this is, I can tell you now, this bracelet is stainless steel. That's actually a really nice band too, to be honest with you. Got the Guess indication right there on the clasp. That's actually a nice little watch. I'm just really curious whether the case is stainless steel or not, because that will buff up really nice. I'm going to keep that. Crystal's in good shape too. Ah, no, the crystal's got really hacked up at the bottom here. It's a crystal, you can tell. It's right at the bottom, it's hacked. But it's a simple round crystal. That's not going to be hard to replace. I'll keep that one as well. That one's going to go in the keep bin. See what I can do with that. And then we have another one of these cheap things. See, this is what I was talking about with the Guess watch. This is obviously not a stainless steel bracelet because, again, like, it's hard to tell on the camera, but you can really see a pitting all along in here. Like it's people's skin really... God, I really wish I had my other camera. I can really focus in on something like that. But you can really tell, even with this bad, how the plating has just chewed right off. And that's just from sweat and everything like that. It just eats away at the cheap plating if it's not properly plated. And these are factory made, right? Like, these come out of the factory so fast that they don't really put any care into it. Same with the side of the case too. That's all just cheap metal. And the name brand. I mean, like, I don't know though. What's the name of brand on this thing? This is the second watch that's like this, actually, with this made from this company. The one with the paper dial. Where is it? That's the same. You can see that's the same logo right underneath. Like, they make cheap watches. Too bad though. It's kind of a cool design. I kind of, if this was like a Roots or a Guess watch and made out of complete stainless steel, this would be actually a really attractive little watch. But I wouldn't be surprised if that dial's made out of paper as well. It's unfortunate. And then what do we have here? Swiss. I promised you guys a while back that I would look up that name, Swiss, and because they make a lot of different things. And I said before too, Swiss, they come up with some really cool designs. And they execute them well, but their build quality and their materials are just terrible. But putting that aside, like, just look at that dial. Like, it just glows. That is a beautiful dial, but unfortunately, a crap build. Like, the band is all falling apart, and yeah, and they like these flexy. God, I can't remember a time when these were supposed to be popular. I don't. I've loved watches my whole life, and I don't remember any time where these were popular, but I guess they must have been because, man, are there ever a lot of them. Anyways, that's going in for recycling. And then what we have here, a Dickies. That's actually not bad, eh? Dickies are a pretty good quality watch. It's a nice band. That is a thick, thick, thick leather band. I can't remember who sells Dickies. I think it is either... What is that? Dickies is either Walmart? Would I be wrong in saying it's Walmart or Mark's Work Warehouse? One of the two supplies Dickie watches, but I think it's Walmart has that brand name Dickie. That's actually not an. I like the dial on that. I really like nice, easy reading dials, kind of like a military type 24-hour clock. The inside has 24-hour clock on it. That's not too bad. I like the orange secondhand too. Matches that. That's a cheap watch though. I mean, there's no guessing on that one. Look at the shadows in this video. God, this is terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I'll come up with something better next time. Celebrity. Hey, it had the bezel moves. And it's unidirectional bezel, too. That's surprising. Celebrity. I've never heard of that before. I'm sure I've come across it. Wow, that's a cheap case. You talk about chemicals taking off the... look at the erosion on that. That is completely gone, right down to the brass. It was just funny because it's a stainless steel back, so they boast, hey, stainless steel back, but let's make the rest of the case out of... Oh, man, that's terrible. And this bezel here, too, that's copper. You can see the copper coming through on that. Band is nice, though. Well, okay, not too nice, but... Wow. Celebrity. Wow, that is terrible. Nice crystal, though. Yeah, crystal's actually pretty good. I always find it funny, you know, here I have some of my watches are not cheap, and yet the crystal always seems to fall apart on it. Well, that's interesting. Atlantic Ocean. That is a crazy-ass watch. Who comes up with these things? I like the the plane here. The plane is the second hand, and you could tell it's not very well executed. But usually they put a very almost invisible type disc where the plane is printed on, and then you just looks like the plane is flying around. But it's actually well executed. Unfortunately, cheaply made, but it's a well executed. That's a cute watch. I really like the dial on that. I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. I might actually buff this right down and see if I can clean the case up on it. Put maybe a better movement in it. Doesn't even say that there's a Japanese movement in it. So probably what I'm going to do with this, because I really like the way this is done. Even the jean type denim band, I actually like the execution of this. I'm going to clean this up and see if any of my friends would want something like that. I'm probably going to lose a lot of friends looking at doing that. But yeah, I'm going to keep that. I know you guys think I'm crazy. I'm actually going to fix this up a little bit, put a better movement in it, maybe improve the hands. Like the second hand I'm going to keep because I like the plane flying around, but I'm going to put some better, larger hands on it and clean that up. I'm actually going to give this thing another life and see what I can do with it because the crystal's in good condition. I like the dial. I like how that is actually executed. The case is as cheap as goddamn. That case is cheap. But I kind of like the feel of this thing. Not for myself, but I wonder if I could. I have some friends that like to travel. I think they would find that quite cute. I'm going to put that aside. I know, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. You can only see so many crap watches, and then after a while you go, you know what, I got to do something. Holy Moses! That's a Skagen. Oh my god, that's a Skagen. That is nice. Skagen. Guys, that's not a cheap watch. Skagen. That is a nice watch. You can really see the pearl in that. That's definitely a keeper. That is not cheap. Wow. That is really nice. How does this end up? I think you probably, if you've seen all my videos, I'd say this, I think, pretty much every video is, how the hell did this end up in a bag of broken watches? Or in this case, a jar of broken watches. That is really sharp. This has been a pretty good catch. Well, I know you guys all think I'm crazy about the travel watch, but this has not been a bad haul so far. Holy Moses. I could probably get a few bucks for this thing. It's missing one jewel there it's missing, but I have bunches of them. I'll see if I can find something that can reset into that. Ah. That is not bad. Oh, that's a keeper, definitely. Skagen, holy crap. Oh man, you know a watch is bad when someone puts a sticker on the back of it. Signet. A signet with stickers on it. Oh my god, this is when I wish I was wearing my gloves. And I'm going to be double Pirelling and hand washing after this. Holy Christ. Signet. There is nothing to keep on this. Although I think it says Japanese movement, but gosh, is that ever written small? It says right down here, right at the very bottom. I think that says Japanese. Holy Moses. I'm going to open this thing up, see if it actually is a Japanese movement. I'm sometimes curious because if it's a name brand I've never heard before, I sometimes like to see if it is a... oh boy, how do you open this thing? This thing is... oh, there we go. Wow. Yeah, movements. I recognize the movement name. I recognize that, but that is not one of the... this is actually a really old watch. That movement is actually very, very old. Pretty dirty too. Holy shoot. Although the construction's not too bad. I mean, it's not often you see a full plastic insert to hold the dial and everything. That's actually pretty impressive. Believe it or not, I'd probably save this insert. I'd probably save that piece. Ugh. Look at the dirt. Oh, man. Oh, man. Bad decisions. Bad decisions. Should have been wearing gloves. This is terrible. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Just hand that over to the side there. Why am I even trying? Okay. So what do we have here? Plain old quartz thingamajiggy. It's got writing on the back of it. I don't know. Although I have to admit, I always find it impressive when the company puts the battery, what type of battery in these. It's 377, so that tells me it's your typical movement. All the size, it literally looks like it's shaped around the movement. Move that out of the way. Wow, yeah, that's... That's cheap. I was trying to see, although I have to admit there's not much pitting in there, so either it's not that old or that's stainless steel, but that can't. Oh, no, 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 that's not. Oh, man. Yeah, I think that is just literally just an old parts. What else do we got? Getting to the bottom of the bowl here, guys. Okay. Look at this. I'm not even down to bands anymore. There's no bands. Now I'm just left with broken pieces. So that's all here. This is just a cheap watch. Expressions, I think that's a Japanese movement. Expressions. That's supposed to be on a these lugs here are set. You can't remove them. So this at one point had a NATO strap on it, for lack of a better term, or just a strap that goes right through there. Put that off to the side. Oh, look at that. I think that's an extra piece for the... Holy shoot. That's an extra piece for this band. It actually came with an extra. Wow, what are the odds of that? Like, I always picture these employees just tossing all these watches into a bag. I wonder how someone had the foresight to actually throw the right piece in with it. That's pretty impressive. Anyways, I got to keep those two together because now I have an extension for the band. Okay, and that doesn't even have a crystal in it. That's broken. Wow, that's... Well, it's happy. Put that over there. Last but not least, I think that says Go Girl. I don't know. That's terrible. Yeah, Go Girl. That is absolutely... How can you make a watch with such small little lugs on it? Like, that's like... Wow. Okay. So, not much left here, guys. We just got some pins and some earrings, which is kind of grossing me out. And I think that's about it. But anyways, so there we go. The jar is empty. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit there so you can see things. Move that off to the side. Yeah, empty jar. I got myself a jar out of this deal. And I guess the winner out of this one tonight would definitely be, this would be the, well, this, and I have to admit, the Skagen. Yeah, those two. No, that's the Guess watch. No, that's not the Skagen. There's the Skagen. So I would say these are the two treasures found in a, well, this time is known as a jar of broken watches. I'm using a cheap little ring light here, so I'm trying to get everything out of the light here. But those would be the two winners tonight, I guess, out of the jar of broken watches. We have the Skagen, which really blows my mind that ended up, because these are not cheap watches. And, yeah, man, a Carabelle by Bulova. That is really sharp. So those are the winners tonight. I'm going to be posting hopefully weekly. If it's not a jar, or a bag of watches, it's going to be something else. But I'm going to try to post every week. Again, I want to thank you for your patience for waiting this long for this video to come out. And I do miss doing this. I'm going to get my camera fixed up this week. Even if the touchscreen doesn't work, I do have a remote control for it, and hopefully that will get it going again. And that's it. If you do like this, don't judge it by this video. Do look at the other videos, because this one was really done on the fly with a camera, poor lighting, and everything else. The other videos are a little bit of a better quality, but if you do like this, like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it if you subscribe and like it. Hit the notification bar too, or button, so you are notified when a new video comes out. And have yourself a good night, and take care. Bye now.